Hi guys, I recently made a guide in order to work on ROS with Docker, and this video is made for explain how to use this guide and show you how quickly you can set up your ROS on your computer, and you can use different ROS distribution. For example, if you have one robot on ROS Kinetic, one robot on ros2 Foxy, and one other robot on ros2 Humble, you can quickly switch in a few seconds from one distribution to another in order to be efficient in your work. I will show you how this works. Let's go. Okay, back on my computer. So I will do the guide for Windows user. Back on my repository, everything is on the wiki, and I will focus on the Docker with ROS. It's the guide for Windows user that we are going to use. I didn't write yet the guide for Linux user, so I will do it. If you're using Linux, you can follow the guide, but you may have some issue with the graphical interfaces setup. Okay, so if we go for the Windows guide, first you need Docker desktop. So you're going to go on the website. I don't know if you need to create an account or not, but you can download it for Windows, and you will have access to the application. You may need to set up your WSL. I didn't mention that on the guide. I may modify this in the few hours. Okay. Once you have Docker desktop and you can run a simple container, just go back on the guide, and I prepared a Docker file. So a Docker file is a file that you will use in order to set up your environment. So I will create an environment, and we are going to use ROS Kinetic. Okay. ROS Noetic. ROS Noetic, I don't think I have this one, and I already have ros2 Foxy and ros2 Iron, so I will demonstrate the meaning of this for ROS1. So I just copy the Docker file here into my VS Code, and I just switch the version. So I won't use Humble here. I will use Kinetic. So this is the official ROS image. I said Noetic. I said Noetic, so this is the official ROS Noetic image. So ROS Noetic is already installed on Ubuntu 20, I believe, and every other command is to set up what we will be using. Be sure to have Terminator installed, because we will need to access a terminal. You can just copy the Docker file anyway. So now that I have this Docker file, I will be able, if I have the Docker extension, so Docker, in the extension in VS Code you have Docker extension, and once you download it, you can right click on the ROS Noetic, and no, it's I need to rename it. Come on, I want it to, okay. You have to call it Docker file, and what I wanted to do was to create a directory, not a file. ROS Noetic. Okay, ROS Noetic, and I put my Docker file in this folder. Yeah, move it. Okay. So I have my Docker file inside my folder. I right click on my Docker file and I build the image. I have to give it a name. I'm going to call it ROS Noetic image. You can call it as you want. It's just in order to organize your images. IMG. Okay, let's go. So now I have everything working, and my image is getting created. So you just have to let it work. So it took me a bit more than 3 minutes, I believe. And now you can just press any key to exit this terminal. And if you check your Docker, we now see that I have my ros2 image now in Docker desktop in the image section. Now we need to run it in order to have our container. So in order to do so, I've put you a command in the guide from image to container. You just have to copy it, then you open a terminal. Okay, and now you copy, and you just have to rename so this is the name of your image. So it will, I called it like ros2 img, and you have to rename the name of your container, because I don't want my container to be called ros2 humble. I want it to be called ros2. Alright, and everything should be okay. So as I wrote in the guide, my display with my Xserver will be 0. This is the environment variable display. Don't touch this. I will explain later why did we put that. And I add a volume. My C location will be shared with the /mnt/c location in the Docker. So this will be a shared directory. And network equals to host, in order to for the container and your host machine to have the same network. Then you press enter, and you see this is I think is the ID of the container. Yeah, it's like the ID of the container. And now if you check your Docker desktop, you will have your ros2 container running. So now, in order to have some graphical apps, we will just need to install Xserver for Windows. Xserver for Windows. Sorry for my French. And so yeah, I accept, and you just have to download the Xmin. Then once you have it, you just have to run xlaunch. You use multiple windows. Display number is 0, as we set in the environment variable that I told you about. Start no client. You don't touch anything here, and you finish the configuration. So now I do have my Xmin server with the 0 number, and I just need to go back on my Docker. If I click on my ros2, I have the terminal here, and I can launch terminator -u, and now I will have my terminator windows. My terminator window that I can split as I want. So I can split like horizontally, and I can have 2 terminals. I can open, for example, gedit on it, and on my Windows I will have gedit. We just need now to source our ros, and it will be in opt ros2, and it's setup.bash. Okay, we can just add this command. You can copy paste. If I open a notepad, I can just paste everything, so it's pretty useful. I will just put this command into my bashrc. up, down here, at the really end of the bash RC, I just add a ros command and then paste the command here. I save, I quit, and now every time I will launch a terminal, I won't have to source again. So now I can use the ros command, ros run, and now I can use the packages. I will just install RVs because it's not installed, and I will show you that I can launch RVs without any problem. ipt get here. Okay, and now that I have RVs installed, I can just like resource my my ROS environment, and oh, I don't have any ROS master. ROS core. I thought I was in ros2, and now I can ros run RVs, and now I have RVs working. So see how quick it was to set up your ROS, and now I can just close my terminals. I can like stop my container, and if I want to go in ros2 humble, I made it with ros2 humble. So if I just want if I want to go in ros2 foxy, for example, I run ros2 foxy, okay, with my terminal terminator, and then I can launch RVs2 on the terminator. So this is huge. This is huge, and this will save you a lot of time. So this is how Docker works, and this is how powerful Docker is. Please tell me if you have any problem with the guide, if you see any amelioration I could make on it, and yeah, enjoy it.